Okay, welcome everybody to the Sunday night a live stream, the 100 bagger live chat where we are going to be speaking about stocks which have that 10x to 100x upside potential. We're talking about our next super stocks and the Discovery Day stocks that we have on the Wall Street Reporter channel. So these are, of course, again, we're focused on companies which have, again, 10x to 100x upside. So what do these companies have in common? Number one is they're going after multi-billion-dollar opportunities. They have multiple catalysts in place. They're at a key inflection point, and they also are focused on big themes. So whether we're talking about esports, telemedicine, all these areas. So those are the things that we're looking at. But tonight we're going to be speaking about really the charts. We're not going to be talking about too much about the fundamentals, strictly looking at charts, sort of the technical analysis of our stocks, and of course a couple of other related areas such as Tesla, GameStop, silver, because these are the new speculative bellwethers which we've been speaking about. So if you're just tuning in, if you're not a subscriber to our channel yet, press the subscribe button now, press the like button, and let's get started. So I want to look at first, obviously the stock that's in the news, not related to anything we're doing right now, except for the fact that it does have a little bit of a parallel to the esports, which is Fans Unite. Fans is more of a gaming, iGaming, sports betting. That's really their business, but they also have the esports betting component, which is going to be huge. So what does this have to do with GameStop? Not much, except the GameStop, it's bringing all the speculative fervor to the markets, and it's kind of having a washover effect. I think it's actually caused some cracks in the market. Look, when you have big short squeezes going on, you have other stocks that have to get dumped, and people have to, cover their positions. They have to meet more. It creates a lot of volatility in the market, and I think this week we have definitely seen. Some of our stocks taking a hit as the speculative market has taken a hit. So, it's definitely going to happen. So GameStop, it's hard, I'm just pulling up this chart. It's really hard. If you saw what is it, last week, I think the day was the first pop when it was, I think, was it 150? I think the first day had the big move, the 150 move. And I said, hey, this thing could be going to 300 plus. I mean, it could easily double or more. And again, I think this thing is really well, I don't know. I don't want to say it's worthless, but it's not worth, I don't think it's worth anything like these prices. I mean, this is like a little bit crazy. I mean, yeah, it's some retail stores. It's definitely just, what's happening in the market now. You have these crazy short squeezes happening with the Wall Street bets crowd. I mean, I don't know how long this is going to last, but it's creating I think it's going to create some. It's going to have some negative spillover in the market because these things are not going to work out well. I don't think so. It's hard. I mean, the GameStop. I'm just going to cover this briefly because it's not really anything. They're not a client of ours, so we're not going to talk too much. It's losing. It looks from this chart. It looks like it's losing. I mean, the momentum. It's kind of maybe taking a breather. But if I look at this, how do I get this? Okay, now we get ads coming up. Okay, so if we look at this weekly chart and GameStop, this weekly chart is, I mean, the weekly chart looks impressive. I mean, if I look at the weekly chart, this thing looks like it could go to $1,000. I mean, that's what the weekly chart has. 700. No, I'm exaggerating. Maybe 600, 700. But this thing is very tricky here. I'm not really sure what to make of it. I wouldn't touch this. This is just too This thing is just too crazy. Let's take a look at Tesla, another one of our bellwethers, speculative bellwethers. So Tesla, if you recall, back in, I think, November, I think it was 450, 500 range. I said, hey, this thing is going to 1,000. And a couple of weeks ago, last week, I was saying, hey, based on the momentum, when it first hit that 900, I said, you know what, this thing could break. I mean, this thing could run to 12, 1400. But here's the thing with these charts. They're always evolving, right? The market is evolving. So, you got to go with the flow. And what is happening? Tesla right now, it's showing weakness. I can't lie about that. Tesla is showing, again, I'm not a Tesla fan. I have no real involvement. I only follow because it is one of the speculative bellwethers for the market. So it's losing a little momentum. The chart action here is negative. Okay, so it broke down. It kind of had this gap down. The market, it's kind of weighing in on this here. I would say this market action here, the last two trading sessions, this gap down, the trend really, the parabolic trend has definitely been broken. So, the next level of support is, well, you got the 50-day moving average here, 690 right now. This could be it. This could be it. I mean, the weekly chart looks pretty good, but here it looks like it's starting to turn. I mean, Tesla is definitely, the spell has been broken on Tesla. The spell has been broken. So that is, what does that mean? That means, we gotta, I guess, use a little bit of caution with some of our stocks, because this is gonna have the bellwether. Somebody was like, what is a bellwether? The bellwether, that's the lead, that's the thing that leads, that's the sentiment leader. That's what drives the sentiment, the market sentiment. So yeah. So Tesla is breaking down. What does that mean? We got to use caution. So with our other stocks, it's going to have, I think, a negative effect on a lot of stocks. So there's some things are going to be in defense. So I don't think we're going to see these crazy run-ups right now, because there's going to be this kind of like wet blanket, the Tesla wet blanket on the market. By the way, if you are not on our Telegram channel, you should definitely join. The link is in the video description below. Also, the Discord link, and of course, the Wall Street Reporter website. Okay, so let's get into some money-making stocks. Okay, so there's these crazy short squeezes happening right now. So people, I guess people are really into this now. That's like the new flavor of the month. Here is one of our favorite stocks, which is Logic. Now this, I got to look at the older chart, because we introduced this at 350, went to $14. So from 350 to $14 in a couple of months, from July till December. It's had a pullback. There is definitely shorting going on in the stock. There is a pretty significant short position. Now, the company is just filed. They're going to be starting trading on the New York Exchange. They're doing an IPO in Canada. So it's going to be Mackey Research is the investment banker on the deal. So you might be able to get into that. Yeah, you might. I'm sure you'll be able to. This is not going to be like anything crazy, but yeah. So Logic is showing a little bit of weakness here, but there is, it's had a very strong base in this $8 range. You can see this going back for months. And what's interesting, every time the stock makes a new high, it pulls back, makes a new high, pulls back. It's happening every time. So I think this is, and again, it keeps making higher highs. So the last high was $14. So that tells me that the next high is going to be above $14. I think this could be a $40 stock once it starts running. I've mentioned this multiple times. So that is okay. So let's look at silver. All right, FCO. Okay, let me pull up the actually, can I get a silver chart here? Can I get a silver chart? Silver continuous contract. Okay. I gotta tell you, this silver chart is a bullish. I mean, this thing looks like it could explode right here. It's a very, very powerful, very powerful setup here in the weekly. I mean, this thing could pop. This could run for $50, $40, $50, easy, easy, easy. Very bullish. Of course, it's above the moving average. So silver looks very bullish. That is what's happening with silver. And what's better than silver? What's better than owning silver? The fact is, you probably can't even buy silver now, right? You can't buy the silver. There's no physical silver. What's your best bet? Leverage the silver stocks. So here, now, again, I mentioned this is Fabled Silver and Gold, FCO. This is one of our client companies, one of our Discovery Day stocks, massive project. We've got the videos all over YouTube, Fabled Silver and Gold, FCO. You can check those out with Peter Hawley. They're doing a big drilling program. We introduced this at 7 cents, let's call it 7 cents, 6 cents. It doubled. Then it hit a high of 25 cents. So let's call it from 6 cents to 25. What is that? 4x? The beautiful thing is it's closed the gap. So it had this crazy parabolic move, closed the gap. It's been hanging out here. It looks like it's building a pretty nice base here. And I think it's waiting right now for the next big move. Let me just pull up our next stock. So that is what's happening with FCO. FCO is in a very good position. Unfortunately, I can't talk too much about the chart yet because it's still, again, a fresh chart, not a lot of data there. As you can see, there's only a month of data. 100X, I don't know, but the CEO Peter Hawley has had, he's had a number of multiple 10 baggers, 20, but he's had some big winners. CRVC is the gold deal that we introduced. I think it is the base. Let me pull up the chart. Let me pull it up on this thing. Let me pull. Here, let me pull up. Let me go to big charts. 1 second. Stand by. How about I do CBDT first, because I have this already up. It's already up on the screen, so I'll just bring it up here. So CBDT, now CBDT was supposed to be on our live stream on Friday, and they had to reschedule. So I think essentially my sense, but again, is that Steve, the CEO, is usually he comes on when he has news. He's got something. So I have a feeling that he's got some news that he's waiting for, and it hasn't. I don't know, things. These sometimes if they have a delay, they usually if they have other people that are waiting to sign off on a press release, that type of thing. So there could be a a delay. So I think he's going to be on this week. So we're kind of on standby. We're on the standby for CBDT. This week, I think we're going to have Steve on. But the chart looks very impressive. This thing looks right now like it's ready to make a new high. It looks kind of like the silver chart. Very bullish setup here. I mean, it's bounced off the 30-cent. I mean, it's built a pretty strong base in that 30-cent range. This is the Canadian. We're talking Canadian dollars here. So it looks like a double bottom here for the last 10 days. If you look at the 10-day chart, probably you have this key reversal day here. It's at 35 cents. So I have a feeling that we're going to see a new high in CBDT this week. CBDT looks very bullish this week. So that is what's happening with CBDT. And let's see. Yes, upward try. Yes, yeah. This is like I don't know, whatever pennant, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it looks like it's breaking out. It's going to break out higher. I was wrong about cabin. Hey, if I was right 100% of the time, I wouldn't be doing these things for free. These live streams. I mean, come on. So yeah, I am wrong at least 200% of the time. So whatever you see here, all the stuff, take it with a grain of salt. Again, these are all client companies, so obviously we have a bias. So I always think that these things are going to go to the moon. All stocks are going to the moon. Cabin is okay. So Cabin last week, last 2 weeks, it looked like it really was going to break out higher. And it was building a base kind of in the 30-cent range. Not a great base, but a decent base. But it broke down. So you had this kind of market weakness. Yeah, I think, look, there's a couple things happening right now. There's a couple stocks that there's been a spillover from stocks like, was it Loop and others. So Cabin has gotten a bit of a beating here. Let's see. This is really the base here. Let's see if it can hold. I mean, it's kind of dipped below the support level here, the 22-cent support level. And again, this company, you could have gotten in on the ground floor when we was it 13 cents when the word leaked out that they were going to be on our program. So it went from 13 cents to 45 cents. So it was basically a triple, or at least a double if you got in even at 15 cents. And let's see what happens right now. I think we're going to wait for some news. But this chart, I'll have to be completely candid and say it's not looking bullish right now. Cabin is on defense. Cabin is on defense. That is what happens. These stocks go up and down. By the way, so that just goes to show you these are very risky stocks. And as we say in our disclaimer here, we're not making recommendations to buy or sell securities. These are higher risk stocks. You could lose all your money. These are we're compensated by the companies we're talking about. They're client companies of Wall Street Reporter. So this is not an objective opinion. So that is the deal. Let me pull up this thing here. While I have you, make sure you subscribe to our Telegram channel. The link is in the video description below. And of course, our YouTube channel. Press the like button, leave your comments, whatever, and press the like, the dislike, the subscribe button. And that is the deal. So we're looking for these 10X to 100X winners. Sometimes they go down. Here is one that is going up so far, right? So we introduced this at 40 cents, I think it was, back in early September. This is Peak FinTech, PKK, Canadian. Hit a high of 3 and change recently. It's doing the normal pullback. As you see, it's had a really one major kind of one major run up. So I had really the first run up was this 40 cent to $2 number, from 40 cents to $2, and then it dropped $1. So that's buck. That's like a 50. That's a big retracement. That's a 50. So 50 50% plus. So these things are roller coasters. So here it is. Looks like peak is kind of going to build a base here. I think it's going to hang out here in this range, $253. Let's see if it goes higher. I mean, it looks pretty good here. So that is peak. Let's look at fans. Fans is a stock that we have been bullish on for quite a while. It's been a little bit frustrating. It's had these ups and downs, crazy ups and downs. We introduced this at 22 cents. I think it was 22 cents. Ran to $1.25. So 22 cents back in late August. So right over here. So right here, you see this little pop. That's when we introduced this. It was about 2 months of just grind. I had this pop. Now it's hanging out. Now fans is going to be on our live stream this week. So I think my sense is they're going to have some news. Otherwise, why would they be on the live stream, right? FCO is going to have drill results. Yeah, they're going to be putting out drill results. So is it going to go up? I don't know. It looks bullish. And they're in silver. So that is looking good. Okay, so fans is hanging out here. I think the dollar area, this kind of 90 cent area is support. You get support at 75 cents. I have a feeling it's going to kind of shake people out a little bit here, and then it's going to run to new highs. This is what's happening with fans. It's a very frustrating chart. I've mentioned this multiple times. It's just when you think you have it figured out, it kind of kicks you. It's like a wild bull. It kicks you right off. So the long term, I think we're going to see a 250 on fans in the next few months. I'm still holding by that. Visby, same thing. So normal market action here. The stock is still in bull mode. We introduced this back at I don't know, was it 20 cents? Let's call it 18, 20 cents, 17 cents. Let's just say 20 cents. So this right here in early October. It's had a run to 90 cents with a pullback. So that's 75.35. So it's right now. It hasn't had a big pullback yet. It's still relatively. Yeah, this is not a real retracement even. It's a very kind of low-key retracement. I was expecting this thing to go to 60 cents. I mean, I think 60 cents would be the right retracement, but it's kind of not, doesn't look like it wants to go there. So it might kind of turn around right in this range here, but 60 cents is very kind of a strong support in that range. This thing looks very, very bullish. This could be also a 250 number, $3 or more. Fundamentals are off the charts. Take a look at the live streams we have with the CEO, with Jay. Yeah, very, very important stuff. Okay, so let's go to CloudMD. CloudMD. What is happening with CloudMD? I have a feeling something big is going to happen. For those who have patience, this is a stock that requires patience. You're not going to get those 100 baggers, on a straight line. Again, we introduced this at 50 cents Canadian back in late July 15th, 30th, some July, yeah. And it's had a nice run to 250. It's been consolidating, building a base here for the last 3 months. I thought it was breaking out last week. It looked like it was going to break out. $2, broke $2 several times. Every time the stock has broken out over that $2, for the last like call it 2 months, it's gotten hit. I don't know if somebody's shorting. I mean, I understand there's a short position, but I don't think that's like I don't think that has an effect. But there's something is keeping this thing down. But when this thing breaks out, it's going to go, $4.50, $5, really $5. So $5 is my target on DOC. Yeah, John, a lot of people are waiting. I think a lot of people are waiting to buy the Lamborghinis, all that stuff. So what's happening? I don't know. I think there's going to be news. That's usually why companies do the live streams with us. So I think this week we're gonna see something. But the chart looks bullish. FCO is going to be on our live stream soon. As soon as he usually likes to go on right after to discuss the news. The last week he had some great drilling results. There was some problem, I think, on the internet connections on the East Coast, and every time he had something like really important to say, the internet would break up. Okay, very bullish months. I think it's great. I'm not, I know. In the problem with the only thing I don't like talking about these metals because, a lot of people who into the silver are really nutty, and I don't want to be kind of like, there's a lot of, let's just call it crazies out. No, I don't want to say crazy, but look, there's people who've been talking about bullish silver for the last, 50 years, riding up and down. But I think silver is great. I mean, if you can buy silver, physical silver at without a big premium, you may have to pay a premium actually at this point. I think silver, that I showed you that chart, looks great. Gold, I think, is going to be big. All the metals, yeah, all the metals. The silver, gold. I don't know, but I shouldn't say all of them because I'm not following the other stuff, the platinum pull up stuff. I think there's short sellers in all stocks. I mean, I don't think it's an issue. I mean, the cloud it could be, I don't know, maybe it is being short. It's hard to tell you. But it's definitely looking good. Cloud MD. Let's look at some of our other medical. Here's, let me tell you this. I'm going to leave you with a little idea here before I go into the other stocks. Here's what I think is going to happen with this. If you notice, this company, they've made some really interesting acquisitions, right? They've kind of built they bought a lot of technology, health tech stuff. By the way, CloudMD is very different than Skylight. Totally different business models, totally different things. Skylight is really almost purely, health, clinics, some other stuff, just the bricks and mortar stuff, a little bit of telemedicine, but their focus is on, healthcare. CloudMD is got this real kind of turnkey solution with the health tech, the technology aspect, plus the physical, the bricks and mortars, I should say. And I think, they've built, the CEO the guy's pretty smart guy. He's built essentially, I would call it like almost a blocking position in the health tech space. So think of it this way. It's almost like in certain cities you have developed, let's say in Manhattan, right? You have on, I don't know, 2nd Avenue, whatever. You have like these little buildings, right? You have these 4, 5, 6-story buildings. And, over the time, those buildings, developers buy a couple of them, they knock them down, and then they build a 50-story building because it's worth a lot more, right? So, but you see, there's these guys who have these blocking positions, or they call them holdouts. And not holdouts are blocking positions. So a guy will buy a small building, a crappy building, or a few crappy buildings in the path of that development. And the point is, somebody's gonna have to buy them out because they want to build something right next to it. They want to have the, I guess that happens with other real estate development. But so Cloud MD has this kind of blocking position in health tech. So they have a couple of very, very valuable pieces, a lot of valuable pieces, which would be very interesting, I think, for somebody who wants to be a player in the health tech space, and that they're going to want to probably buy CloudMD. I have a feeling, I mentioned this for the last couple of months, 3 months, 4 months, is, look, I think at some point somebody's going to buy out CloudMD at a premium. It's not going to be at these prices. It'll probably be like, I would say at least double, $5, $7 more. So the question is like somebody like Amazon, Amazon was getting into the health tech space. So, are you talking about Cabin, Kabn? Yeah. So the CloudMD is I don't know why it's driving you crazy, because CloudMD is basically it's acting like perfectly normal, like a normal stock that, I mean, even Amazon did not go straight from here to here. Google did not go like that. They go, then they consolidate, then they go. That's what's happening. So you got to have some patience if you want to make some money with these things, right? And again, we're not making buy-sell recommendations. Yeah, it could be. I think, will it grow? Yeah, it could. I mean, I think either way, it's going to be $5, $7 in 2021, because there's two paths for cloud, I believe. Again, my opinion. This is not the company saying, I'm not getting any information from the company. So there's two paths. One is the buyout, which would be much higher than where they are now, a strategic buyer. Number two is organic growth. I mean, they have enough cash right now. I mean, they could buy another 100 million in revenues, I believe, and that would get the stock to $1 billion plus market cap. You'd see $5, $7, $10. So that is the deal. So there's multiple paths. There's basically two big paths for this to be a multi-bagger stock. I think most people, the problem is, like, right now everybody's gotten like spoiled with these stocks that have gone parabolic and like 10x. So you don't understand how the reality works, which is stocks consolidate, then they go up. Speaking of which, Skylight Health, here's another one. Skylight, it's been on the defense for the last month. It's had this big run. It's been consolidating here. I mean, look, the stock has had a run from, what is it? It was in December, it was, under 50 cents. So let's call it 50 cents from 50 cents to $1.25. So, almost 2x. I think it's going to kind of consolidate here in this range, dollar range, 90 cents, dollar range. And then you're going to see a massive move. I mean, they're doing all the right things, I believe, from a fundamental standpoint. Visby, I showed you. Skylight, I showed you. ESE, we had the CEO on Friday. Very interesting chart. Again, so we introduced this at, 30 cents? This is big day here, the 25, 35 cent range. It's had a run, massive run to $2, which, these stocks, they're not going to go in a straight line to 1,000, right? So it's been holding out very nicely in this kind of $1.25 range here, maybe a double bottom. And if you were watching our Telegram or YouTube last week, a couple of weeks ago, I think, was it, when it was $1.25, I said, hey, this thing is going to run. And sure enough, it went to $1.75, like a straight line from $1.25. Pulled back. And the takeaway is if you watch the live stream with Conrad, yeah, if you watch the live stream with Conrad, he talks about the acquisitions that he's planning to make. He's got a pipeline. He says he's got about 100 million of potential revenues, 100 million worth of revenues in potential acquisitions. And let's see if it happens, right? It's gonna be very interesting to watch. I agree. The guy's focused. That is very important. I think that's what I think he's 24/7. He's focused on getting this to $10. Oh shit! I didn't even talk about VST. So VST, great fundamental story. Their chart is very frustrating. It's almost like a face chart. It's a frustrating chart. I can't even make. It's hard to read their chart. So let's. I already covered that one. Okay, let's talk about $5 super chat for the super chart. Trip. How did I forget about Trip today? So many stocks going on right now. This is another one of these monster runs. Okay, look at this. It's crazy chart. So again, we introduced this at 13 cents back in. No, was it 17 cents? I think it was 15, 17 cents back in December. Had a run to 66 cents. But here's what's interesting. It's making higher highs. And it had a very nice base. And if you were a subscriber to our Telegram, you would have gotten the message that right at that 30-cent range that it was going to break out. Sure enough, it doubled in a week. It's going to hang out here. I think it's going to hang. I did say before this breakout to 60-something, 66, I was expecting it to build a base in the 50-cent range. It broke out above it, so now it's going to pull. I think it's going to hang out in this kind of. It's going to be very choppy in this like 40-cent to 55-cent range. It needs to take a break. It needs to kind of consolidate before it makes the next run. That's the deal here. But here is, what's interesting. I don't know if this is true or not. I just read an article. I read an article. I don't know if this might be just complete BS. And this is actually very interesting. That the U.S. is going to legalize federal legalization of the cannabis. I think this is Charles Schumer, who's like a crazy left-wing guy. Well, I don't know if he's that left-wing, but let's just say, yeah. So the Democrats, I think he basically said, I think I saw a quote, unless somebody's making this up. This is last week, that they want to put that in the next bill. They're going to, I guess, package it with something else, right? I don't know how the government works, but anyway, they want to get this thing passed because, so here's what's interesting. This is crazy. Where did I see this? It's on some sort of, see if you can Google this, Charles Schumer legalization cannabis bill. Because, this actually ties into the whole, the Democrat and the Joe Biden thing, which is all, it's just I don't know, it's all BS. But here, so he wants number one is obviously tax revenue, very important. They want tax revenue. They want to say what is it they did? He wants to be he's trying to make it. He's trying to do some thing where it's he wants to be seen as a progressive whatever. And so they're gonna do federal legalization of cannabis. I believe this is the deal. Check out the Google this. So what does that mean? It means, you know, and again, I think in his quote he said something like, "Yeah, marijuana is not the same as heroin." Okay, so with that thinking, once they do cannabis legalization, truffles, mushrooms, which is an organic thing, is got to be next. I think we're going to see that happen. I think mushrooms are going to be on the heels of cannabis. Speaking of which, let's look at ICANN, which is our cannabis, one of our cannabis stocks, or our only cannabis stock, I should say. They make the marijuana rolling machines, the ganja machines. Hey, nothing is changing. It's building a base 50 cents. This is like a trending chart. It trends, and then it builds a base. So it's building a base. I think we're going to pop from here. 50 cents is very good support. And those machines that make the joints, that's going to be very bullish for when Biden gets the marijuana legalized. Okay, so it's hard for me to tell. I don't know what to make of the chart. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It looks like it's going up, but it's like, it's a very frustrating kind of like chart. It's like a trading range. There's no, I don't see like a pattern here. Like, so it's hard. It's not my normal thing. The fundamentals, I love the fundamentals okay. So what is the takeaway? Before I tell you the takeaway, make sure you click the like and the subscribe button on the YouTube. So, how do I get, okay, to join our YouTube channel if you're not a member. And also below in the video description, we have links to Telegram, our Telegram channel. That's just click Wall Street Reporter links, our Discord channel, and it's all on wallstreetreporter.com. The takeaway is this. Here's what I love about VST. Okay, so this is like a promoter's dream. Okay, so these guys are in. Okay, so the components. Okay, so their portfolio is worth more than the it's more than the actual stock price right now. They're going to be doing the spin-offs. I'm not sure how they're going to do the spin-offs. Yeah, I think they should do share. If they could spin off shares, share dividends, that would be great. I think that would be fantastic for the stock. Here's what's great about this thing, right? Is VST has, I call this like the unicorn farm, okay? They got 20 different, positions, 20 investments in their portfolio, decent chunks, 20% plus that they own these, disruptive technologies. I hate that word disruptive, but yeah, these all the great stuff, whether it's AR, whether it's health tech, telemedicine type stuff, esports, every area. And so there is going to be constant stuff to talk about. There's going to be there's going to be constant catalyst to keep this thing, in the conversation of investors. So they got these 20 plus 23, I think, of these baby unicorns. Okay, I guess not even baby unicorns. They're kind of unicorn eggs. They're hatchlings. So all you need is one of those eggs to hatch into a full-size unicorn, like a Fans. Actually, Fans is not even a unicorn yet. Fans is like a baby unicorn. All you need is one of these things to become a $1 billion valuation, and that's more than that's a couple times the stock price. So they got these multiple shots on goal. So I really like that concept. I think that once they start hitting on a couple of those, the market is going to be extrapolating that into the future, and that's going to be very bullish. He's going to be on maybe next week. Bullish silver. I say silver is great. FCO. You got the silver stocks. Yeah, so they own fans. So the one thing is the chart. Their chart is a little bit like one of these. I don't know. It's got to kind of, once it breaks out, you're gonna kind of see it. I think if this thing kind of, when you see like a solid break above $1, that'll be interesting. Oh, wait, hang on a second. Let me show you something interesting. What am I talking about? Let me show you something very interesting. Disregard everything I said. Okay, disregard everything I said. Their current chart is like, I don't know what to make of it, to be honest with you. It's like a retarded chart. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But if you look at the big picture, here is where it becomes interesting. If you look at, some of these companies, some of these stocks just have weird charts, like gold. I'll give you an example. Gold has to me, I don't understand the gold chart. It's very hard to make any sense of it. Sometimes it gives you a clear indication. So VST is almost like the gold chart. They're like, retarded. But if you look at this 5-year, here's where it becomes interesting. So first of all, you see this kind of pennant forming, where if it breaks out above $1, you could see a real run. Now you do see back in, late 17, you had VST was $4, right? $4 was the price. And there's kind of there's a theory. I don't know what's the right word I'm using. Not a theory. It's there's kind of an idea on old traders, whatever. Stocks usually tend to go back to where they were, their old highs. That happens a lot. Okay, so it's kind of like that old highs. The old highs usually kind of like a magnet. They kind of brings them back sometimes. And I think that we're going to see something like that happen with VST. So what I like about this is that you had this $4 price back in 17, and if this thing gets going here, I don't see any reason why it can't be $4 again or higher. So that is a very positive thing. So it's more like I'm trying to think, like some of the older like Safeguard Scientific, some of the companies that were spinning out venture stuff. Berkshire is more of like cash flow, mature businesses. No, not at all. VST owns they have big positions in venture companies, and you know what else? I think the CEO of VST is actually understands technology a lot better than the guy at IDK, like by a factor of 100x. Okay, so that there's no question of that. Yeah, so there's going to be some interesting things happening with VST. Keep an eye on this. VST is what I have to say. No, fans is not losing steam. It's consolidating. Normal consolidation. I mean, it's like saying, Amazon is losing steam back in, I don't know, 5 years ago, 7 years. It's, we're looking at it, this is, and we're not even looking at a long term. I'm not interested in where the company is going to be 5 years from now. I'm looking 12 months. That to me, that's long term. I think we're going to see fans 250 plus this year, next few months. That is the deal. CBDT looking great, really good. Okay, Let's look at Novamind. So Novamind is a stock we just, again, Novamind is a brand new stock. So their chart is like, I don't, you can't really, you can't make anything out of it. There's only very little data. So it had this big run. Okay. We introduced this at, I guess we announced it at somewhere here. Was it $1.40? Or I guess somebody figured it out. So this nice pop, and then you had the sell-off here. And of course, what happened last week didn't help. So I think it's back to kind of where it started. So if you like Novamind last week at $1, if you like Novamind at $1.70, you can like it here at $1.40. So look, the guy's behind it. Let me tell you one of the reasons why I took on Novamind. Okay, so Novamind, yeah, I'm kind of picky about the companies that I bring on to our platform. I'm looking again for 10 baggers, 100 baggers. I haven't had any 100 baggers yet, so hopefully we're going to have one. So one thing I think it helps is kind of the provenance. Where do we get the stock from? So CBDT was referred by the same source that introduced us to Imagine AR back last year when it was like at a nickel, and that went to, what is it? That was a massive move. It was a 1,700% move. CBDT, same guy. So, okay. And also Cabin. So the same guy that brought us Cabin, Imagine AR, CBDT, which have all been multi-baggers, 10X on average, brought over, or I should say brought over, but introduced us to Novamind. So, it's pretty good, right? That is, I think, worth thinking about, right? So one of the things I look at is who's behind this thing, the team behind it, right? And I think the people behind this are winners. The chart, you can't read the chart again. It's like there's no information. It's almost like VST or FCO. FCO is a brand new. So let's see, which stock should we leave off on? Let me go back to Doc. I was going to say, look, the big, actually, let me do this. CBDT, I think, is going to be the big winner this week. I think we're going to see a big move. Of course, I have often been wrong. I think we're going to see a nice move in CBDT. But also, you know what? I think Doc is a stock to watch this week. I think Doc is a stock to watch. This thing is going to turn just when you least expect. Maybe. Yeah, we may have. I think this is going to be. Look, apparently there's good things happening in cannabis. Did I pull up the CRVC chart? I don't know if I pulled it up yet. If I didn't, I apologize. CRVC. Wow. Okay. Well, the good news is, it's hard. Again, it's a brand new chart. There's not a lot of data yet, although the chart is building. So we could see that it looks like support. Now, here's a stock that we introduced at, I think, was it 40 cents, 35? Yeah, somewhere in this range, 30. I think it was 35-cent range back in October. I got to check, but let's call it 35 cents. I'll be charitable. It had a pop. And again, it's a gold exploration deal, big project. Had a pop, and now it's down. This is our only stock. That's down. It's not their fault. Look, stocks do go down, especially these resource stocks are roller coasters. I think the market is waiting for them for results. They want to see what's going to happen. Drilling results, right? Exploration. So this chart is here to tell you that, hey, these stocks are risky. You could lose all your money if you buy these, right? So I think we've built a base here at 25 cents, and all we need is some. They gotta come up with some exploration results. Yeah, but they could do other stuff now, right? They could do, I don't know, aerial, all the other stuff. But yeah, it's going to be, Project X will be soon, soon. It's going to be something big in the coming months. Okay, this has got the ESC, Visby, CB, some winners. Zero. I don't think anything. We have great companies. Next, yeah. We might have, we might bring on a few. I think we might have a few interesting companies for the Discovery Day platform. They're not quite the super stock thing. They're more of the discovery, just like exploration type stuff, which is a little more mature. Let's see. Okay, so weed stocks. Okay, Nasdaq. Yeah, Peak could be a big winner. I mean, but saying Peak could be one of the big winners this year. Let's see. Drones. You like drones? I got some drones for you. We might have. Okay, we might have an interesting drone company, which is going to be new to the market. We might have an interesting drone company. Yeah, VST. We already have VST. You already know VST. Yeah, so we might have a new drone company, which is going to be going public soon. That might pop on our platform, possibly. Could be interesting. Yeah, so Visby's looking good. Okay, so I think this wraps it up. So what do we have this week? Here is what's on our live stream schedule for this week. We have on Tuesday, let me get my calendar open. SHG, and we have fans this Tuesday. That's who we have. And we're going to have a bunch of other companies this week back on our platform. So that is the deal. And the drone company, I see the drone company that we might bring is still private, so there's nothing to buy. We're not working with any of those, but we might have a drone company which is going to go public. That's the deal. Okay, guys, I'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for the super chat, the Colonel Redbeard on Trip. Trip is going to be one of the big winners of this year. Or they already are a big winner, but look, when they legalize like federal cannabis, the mushrooms are going to follow. So that is what I think is going to happen. No, it was rescheduled. I think it was they're waiting for some news. So it's not a negative. I'll put it that way. It is not negative. It is not negative. It is a positive. Okay, it's a positive. I have no idea. I know that usually goes on with news, so probably it's probably going to be whenever, sometime this week. They're going to have something. I don't know. Okay. What did he say? Okay, could be something big, possibly. That is it, guys. Thank you. I'll see you in the next live stream.